Hey guys, we're going to set up a new bow today. I'm going to maybe just do it little bits and pieces so it's not so long and boring. We're working on my new Strother Moxie. Um, some of the tools you need are, of course, your Allen wrench. You can either buy T-handles or this little handy set that I've had for years. You'll need a rest. I like the Trophy Taker with the spring steel blade. This one's not the micro adjust model, but it is marked with a gradient, and it has horizontal and vertical adjustments. And if I was to take this screw off, inside there is more than one hole, so depending on your bow, if you need to move it up more than what's in the slot or down more than what's in the slot, you can do that and gain greater adjustments for your vertical travel for your arrow. This is a 10 thousandths launcher because of the weight of the arrow is going to be a little over, I don't know, close to 360 grains or something like that. So I like to use that size, which is what's recommended on their website. And of course then you need your mounting bolt, which is just a Allen head bolt. So let me flip this over and we'll show you a couple things. These are your rest mounting holes, or they're also called a burger hole, B-E-R-G-E-R, burger. You can choose either to use the front bolt, the back bolt, or both of them if you want, whatever. But if you'll notice, there's no camo finish down in those holes. It's nice and shiny. Strother has already tapped those to clean it out for the convenience of their customers, which I thought was really nice. So real simply, I don't have a bow vise, so I'm sorry this is going to be a little bit crude. But you take your rest, and I usually like to start it by hand because you can feel what you're doing, and I usually use the back bolt. Some risers don't have two holes, so okay, and you can feel it starts real nice and easy, and then you just take your little Allen wrench and it just fits right in there. You just lightly screw it down, and you'll feel it kind of just stop, and at that point you can kind of look at your rest bar and you can kind of line it up with the cable slide bar, and it looks kind of parallel. And normally that's a pretty good spot to start, and I'll just gently, just kind of, you don't have to crank it really hard because you may need to move it, so let's not overdo it. But anyway, so we'll start there. Now the next thing you have to do is adjust your center shot, and center shot is basically like the center of the riser, which is in here somewhere. Every bow company is a little bit different. Strother recommends 7/8, which would be from the inside of the riser right here to the center line of this or your arrow. So pretty simply you would take an arrow, and knock it on there, and you would measure from the inside of the riser to the center of your arrow, and that should be approximately 7/8 if you're setting up a Strother. There's different ways you can do it. Some guys will hold the bow in front of them and line the string up in the groove, and then they'll follow the string up and see if it bisects the arrow down the middle. You can also sight down the string to the middle of the riser, right down the middle, and see if it also bisects your arrow down the middle. Sometimes it'll be out or in, and you want to get it as close to the center as possible. It's just usually a little less adjusting one way or the other. Then the other thing you'll have to do is you're going to try to set your nock height, which is that. Strother sets these up from the factory like that, which should be pretty close. Depending on your rest, you're going to have to adjust up and down or whatever, and also the size of your arrow. But if you look, Strother recommends in their manual to be right through the middle of the burger holes, not really the top, not really the bottom, but you may find it tunes a little different for you or something. But generally, the straighter it is, I should say it should be 90 degrees, which would be in this area here would be 90 degrees. And they make a little tool that clamps onto your string, and you can put it right on top of your rest, and it has measurements from 16th to 1/8 inch, all that stuff. Or you can use what I like to use, these little levels, and they are really great. This one just kind of clamps onto your arrow. You can see how that works. And this one clamps right onto your string. And we're kind of going to get a little start on that and see how we like that. So I'm going to clip this on the string, and that's just kind of sit there, and then we're going to clamp the arrow clamp on to the arrow. It's a lot easier with more than one hand, but I don't have that. Okay, so basically what you're trying to do after you get your arrow running true through the burger holes how you want to set your level on the string, and you kind of adjust it until the level's pretty much in the middle. It may not be perfect. If I had a bow vise, this would be a lot easier. So when you kind of get it pretty close to level, then you can look over at your arrow and see where that's at, and they should be pretty close to the same. And I'm kind of wiggly, so it probably adjusts here and there, but anyway, that will get you relatively close to start with for your arrow tuning. So you set your center shot. If you want to put a D-loop on, or a lot of people use a brass knock with a tied-on knock, which is basically just a knot with a bunch of knots, and you can twist it up or down. Or some of them use an eliminator button, which is just basically a little rubber button that goes right there. You slide it on over the end of your string, and it goes all the way up, and that's a little rubber cushion deal, so you can hook your release onto the string, or you can tie a D-loop. It just depends on what you want to do. Different people like different things. So we'll stop right there for now.